I'm not black, nigga. I'm Jamaican. Remember back in the 90s? We would hear that all the time. They act like they weren't saying that. I used to hear that when I was single back in the club days. I would always hear these Caribbean and African women, black as hell. Oh, I'm not black. I'm Ethiopian. Oh, I'm not black. I'm Caribbean. Oh, I'm not black. I'm Trinidadian. They would always say that. They wore that shit as a badge of honor.
Let me say that again. I am not black, okay? Hear me out. Growing up, my mom absolutely hated when we referred to ourselves as black. Growing up, my mom absolutely hated when we refer to ourselves as black. Like, you're not black, you're Nigerian, you're African. I feel like the term someone is black obviously comes from the slave era, but it also just describes displaced people that don't know their heritage. So I feel like people that do know their heritage, to referring to yourself as black, you know, if you know where you're from, you're raised in a certain household, Somalians are Somalians, Ethiopians are Ethiopians, Nigerians are Nigerians.
Like a guy from Africa, he can say he's African, but there's no country called African. He's either Nigerian, Ghanaian, Malian, or some, that's his ethnic nation. There's no country called African. He's either Nigerian, Ghanaian, Malian, or some, that's his ethnic nation.
Always open to the conversation, because one thing, being black Brits, and we're both of Ghanaian, West African heritage, but we're British-born Africans. Always open to the conversation, because one thing, being black Brits, and we're both of Ghanaian, West African heritage, but we're British-born Africans. We're British-born Africans.
Understand when you say black British or black American, because you don't know where you're from. You're just a person of color in the city that you're in. I feel like when I hear someone refer to me as black, it just sounds so harsh, especially coming from a certain demographic. I think if you have the privilege of knowing where you're from, you shouldn't refer to yourself as a color, because if you know where you're from, why refer to yourself as a color? I feel like when we say black, it just sounds so harsh, and like, this is black, I'm brown, I'm Nigerian. At the end of the day, like, that's who I am, that's where I come from. So,
the man who freed the slaves, Obama isn't the descendant of slaves. His father emigrated from Kenya in 1959, and his mom is the Swiss Miss Girl. Some are even claiming that the senator has not lived the, quote, black experience, and Is Barack Obama black?
No, he's not.
Is Barack Obama black?
No, he's not. In the American political context, black means the son of West African, the descendant of West African slaves brought here to labor in the United States. It's not a put down. It's not to say that he hasn't suffered. It's not to say that he doesn't have a glorious lineage of his own. It's just to say that he and I, who am descended from West African slaves brought to America, we are not the same.
On the dead homies.
But the thing is, black, understand this, black is not just a color. That signifies a lineage and a struggle. You understand? Black is not just a color. It's not just a melanin. It's based on a lineage. You understand? It is based on resistance. We actually chose black because they were saying Negro and the N-word and colored and all of that. No. We're foundational black Americans, not just foundational Americans. Because, people will try to co-opt that. They can try to remix that. Now, when you say foundational black American, now you're being very, very specific. You understand? Blackness, the black identity is legally and historically recognized throughout history. Blackness, that's been used to determine access, exclusion, exploitation from slavery, the 3/5 clause, Jim Crow, redlining, mass incarceration. They were doing that to black people. They used the word black, and we're going to let them know, okay, yes, we're still black and you still owe us. Now, I ain't about to make this shit vague. No. We're owed as black folks, as foundational black Americans. We're going to use the legal and social language used against us to get compensation, which includes black. We're removing black. That disconnects foundational black Americans from our unique cultural contributions. Hip hop, black. Foundational black Americans, jazz, foundational black Americans, soul food, foundational black Americans, hoodoo, foundational black Americans, civil rights movement, foundational black Americans. We're owning that. You understand? It's not just foundational, it's foundational Black American. See, we just say foundational American. That ignores the cultural, spiritual, and artistic genius that rose up out of Blackness. That's the thing that makes the shit so great. We did that when Blackness was being oppressed, and we still rose up and created all of these great things as Black people, as an oppressed group. That's what makes us goddamn superheroes to a damn certain degree. The Blackness, that's the thing, that's the key ingredient in the sauce. That's the key ingredient.
There's basically a bunch of Jamaicans who apparently went abroad and then exclaimed to other Black American people that they're not Black, right? And that's been an issue for a while because it's affecting me, right? Because some Black Americans are looking my way and saying, "Oh, you guys said you're not Black, right?" And I'm trying to explain to them that there's a specific classes structure within Jamaica where whenever a Jamaican goes abroad, they kind of look down on Jamaicans back on the island, right? And the idea that they're not Black is something that usually cultivates when they travel abroad because Blackness is something embraced inside of Jamaica, right? There's a colorism issue, but it is, and because I'm very dark skinned, I'm a very dark skinned man, right? So I just wanted your 2 cents on that.
Yeah, because I've heard with my own ears some Jamaicans over here say, "Well, I'm not Black, I'm Jamaican." I've literally heard that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they look at themselves as different, and they look at Blackness as something different. Blackness is really synonymous with Black Americans. Blackness is really synonymous with Black Americans. So that's an argument that a lot of people are making, that we should be the only people classified as Black or considered Black.